International Children's Day of Broadcasting. Welcome to the late afternoon news. My name is Chawo Tasia Twambo. The headlines. Government secures land for MUMBWA flood victims. Recruitment of 1,200 teachers, over 50,000 unemployed teachers countrywide condemned. Join me with the details after this break.
And bananas.
Work and wait, and this what you've been praying for.
A community school in Lusaka's Ngombe compound, which houses about 180 pupils, risks being closed due to financial challenges emanating from the COVID-19 pandemic. Danced Hill Community School Director Elizabeth Mwanza has revealed to Cabinet TV that 9 teachers have so far left the school because she's unable to pay them, as most of her sources of income have also collapsed. Mrs. Mwanza says the community school has over 80 orphaned and vulnerable pupils who are not paying any school fees. More in this report.
About 180 pupils are attending their primary school at Danced Hill Secondary School here in Lusaka's Ngombe compound. From this population, 80 pupils are not paying any school fees to school management because they are either orphaned or from vulnerable homes, while others are dropout mothers who have a passion to complete their education. However, Danced Hill Community School risks closure due to financial challenges caused by COVID-19. Over 9 teachers have already abandoned the school, and only 3 volunteer teachers are left teaching the entire classroom. And School Director Elizabeth Mwanza has told this reporter that her desire to see vulnerable children attain an education is what prompted her to start the school and enroll even those children in a community who cannot afford school fees.
But because of the closure that's due to COVID-19, in March 20th, the school has been faced with a number of challenges because teachers have run away because of non-payment of fees. Initially, the opening of this school was to help girls that are fallen pregnant. We administer them back to school, and those that don't have anything. Right now, I've got about 90 of them that are in school, but we are faced with a lot of challenges because the teachers that we had, the ones that were helping us, they've gone back because we don't have money to pay them. And also the money that some kids are paying, because we've got both those that are paying a certain amount of fee and those that are not paying anything at all. When that money comes to the school, I help the teachers that most of them are our volunteer teachers.
Mrs. Mwanza is, however, considering shutting the school because she can no longer afford to feed all the vulnerable pupils at her school, as her businesses have all collapsed due to the effect of COVID-19. She now wants government and other stakeholders to help her sustain her school by providing her with land, school materials, and resources to keep the school running.
And I'm just appealing to anyone out there, be it the government, the NGOs, and even individuals, to come through to our school to help most of our kids who are vulnerable with desks, computers, and other school materials. At least land where we can expand the school, grow vegetables, and keep chickens for the expansion of the school so that we don't lag behind.
And some volunteer teachers spoken to have told this reporter that their passion to help vulnerable children in the community is what is keeping them at the school.
Why I decided to volunteer here is I have seen that most of the children in the community are left out because on the aspect of education. Most of the children that have the privilege to access education are those that are well-to-do, or maybe their father or mother are working for a company.
I've been with this school for 3 years now. I came in as a parent where I brought my 3 children here. But when I heard about it being a community school, I thought of helping it out as a volunteer teacher, and I've now been with it, but we've been having challenges with the school, whereby we need anybody. I'm appealing to anybody of the government who can help us, because we've got a shortage of chairs, and we've got a shortage of boards.
And some pupils also spoken to have called on government and stakeholders to help prevent the shutting down of their school.
Praying for those who are watching this video to help us to have a bigger land where we can be planting vegetables and be keeping chickens, and to have a school bus which we can be using for a school trip.
Has helped me how to read and write. When I came at this school, I never used to know how to read and write. I'm appealing for those people who are watching this video so that we can have a big land.
At this school, we don't have good computers, we don't have good desks, and I'm appealing to anyone who can help us with these things.
Over 90 vulnerable children at this community school are at the edge of stopping schooling if the school management does not afford to keep it running. Prudence Chota, reporting for Community News.
In other news, residents of Lusaka's Kanyama compound are calling off government through the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, DMMU, to visit the area which has been flooded by water caused by heavy rains. The residents have explained that fecal matter, garbage and water have all mixed, making it difficult for them to leave their homes. The residents have also complained that they are having difficulties in using their latrines as they have also been flooded to capacity. More in the following report.
Fecal matter, garbage and water have all mixed up and are now resting at the homes of people in Lusaka's Kanyama compound. These residents have told this reporter that they have not been leaving their homes while their children have not been going to school because all roads have been blocked by water. The residents are also faced with challenges in visiting the toilets because most soakaways have been filled with water.
Ichishinga fe mwana fe amenje fe ajaba natabale ya kuskulu tabale fe tule chitata tule fuma mayanda kutoilet naye sulama toilet amenje kwamba nishira ikiasha nile nego chitete ndenya nda mumenshi nalile kana okuya mukufunda nalafu mashani
sechikutika kwenda ku skulu kitala kitala manzi so isewena ngotiloka na kuloka manzi kopitana sumde sana bwino mu emergency of things
na tuchula meshi kwa Kanyama batwafisha ko bakuteko baboma mwana nafo tulesha sitatisha bwino tapuli nani kana ma drainage batwafweko leo mbona kutwafisha kwa mesha tunayeko ngoma drainage sitatisha.
The residents have also complained that their area member of Parliament, Elizabeth Piri, promised that drainages will be well placed in the area before the onset of the rain season to avoid such occurrences, but that no help has been rendered up to now. The residents are now calling on government through the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit to visit the area before cholera and other waterborne diseases break out in this area.
Twachula kwa Kanyama kuno MP baba kuisa abana balelala tabalelala amenshi monene fidestikomu bantu akola ikala shani balokuikala bukelo washani MP baba kusobuteko baba kuisa
kumakeni uko bachifo fwe bakuchati tabashingurukira nako katushinga takwa baba kansela katushi so uwafuna uwafyo ko tukwete mwandi ndatule yamkubombe fidifyonzi wakulasunga shani abana balali enshi twalafu mashani mumenshi so mwandi ntuyalomba fyo bwafuirisho katushu bwafuirisho abo mwala twafuirisha ko bantu amenshi takuloko yaleya naye kala naye samukwikale fini so tuyalomba ko fyo bwafuirisho.
Floodings have continued to be a challenge in most parts of Lusaka. Perhaps replanning of some selected compounds will go a long way in addressing the flooding challenges, as some lives will be lost if the situation is left unchecked. Prudence Chota, reporting for Community News.
Minister in the Office of the Vice President, Oli Papiri, says government through the local authority has secured land for the 48 families who were displaced by the floods in MUMBWA district late last year. The minister was speaking in MUMBWA when she received assorted food and non-food items worth $10,000 from Lions Club District 413 Zambia to aid the affected families. And Lions Club District 413 Governor Peter Mangani says his organizations will continue working with government in uplifting the lives of vulnerable people. Details in this report.
This dance signifies new hope for the 48 families of MUMBWA district flood victims who have been living in tents since December 2020. The jubilation says it all as government today announced that it has secured land where they will permanently settle. To top it up, government says it will continue working with other cooperating partners in providing relief until the families stabilize. According to the 2020 In-Depth Vulnerability Needs and Assessment Report, more than 1.9 million Zambians in about 64 districts are in dire need of relief support from government. In this regard, the minister in the office of the Vice President Oliver Piri says due to floods experienced in the recent months, more people have been thrown below the poverty line, needing urgent government support. The minister was speaking in MUMBWA district when she received assorted food items and non-food items worth about 10,000 United States dollars from the Lions Club.
It is gratifying to see a non-government organization supplementing government efforts in caring for the victims of disasters. It is in public domain that the country has recorded a substantial increase in the number of people in need of relief support. Compared to the previous year, due to the increased rainfall activities in most parts of the country, the rains experienced have also caused damages to properties, crops, and key infrastructures. Ladies and gentlemen, government, with the help from stakeholders such as yourselves, the Lions Club, have been providing for affected communities to lessen the burden on the households. This has been not only here in MUMBWA, but across the country.
And Lions Club District Governor Peter Mangani says the Lions Club will continue working with government and provide help whenever they are called upon.
Education of hunger is also another area that we look at, so that as much as possible, when there's need for food, when there's need to teach people how to make sure they have food, then we are involved. And also we provide other supports, important health services that we have been involved in. In this activity we are witnessing today, District 413 is working with the charity wing of our organization, which was ably explained, the Lions Club International Foundation, which has provided the resources in the form of an emergency grant. And this grant was explained. It was a grant of 10,000 US dollars.
Sharon Kalimbola, Camnet News.
The Golden Party of Zambia has charged the recent revelation by government that it will recruit 1,200 teachers this year is a drop in the ocean. Party Secretary General Dr. Stephen Mwale says the country has a high teacher-pupil ratio, while many trained teachers are languishing in the streets waiting for government for recruitment. Dr. Mwale has described this recruitment as unfair to the over 50,000 unemployed teachers. Government has since been accused of focusing on wants as opposed to needs. More details in this report.
Of 1,200 teachers recently announced by government is a drop in the ocean. As Golden Party of Zambia, we note a high misplacement of priorities by the current government, in that they are spending millions of dollars in procurement of fire trucks, ambulances, expired drugs and health consumables at a very high cost, exaggerated cost for that matter, at the expense of our young men and women who we have invested a lot training for 3-4 years, only to come and roam the streets of our country. This we find very unacceptable. We'd like to call upon government to look into this matter. Otherwise, there will be sparring corruption, because our young men and women are already in a desperate situation of unemployment. And how do they make a living when the situation is as it is today? Why shouldn't we have them deployed when rural areas have no teachers, or we have one or two of them across the entire school, covering 3 to 4 grades?
We have come to the end of the news, but before we go, the headlines once again. Government secures land for MUMBWA flood victims. Recruitment of 1,200 teachers, over 50,000 unemployed teachers, countrywide condemned. Thank you for watching. I'm Jawo Tasia Twambo. Happy International Children's Day of Broadcasting. Up next is ICDB's special show. Stay tuned. Good afternoon.